This is MindPower. Hello and welcome back to yet another great episode of MindPower. I am Bryce L. Tomlinson from NewDepthMedia.com, and today I'm going to tell you about a little program called iStopMotion 3. This is a newer version of iStopMotion that just came out to sort of accommodate for the release of the Lion operating system on the Mac. As such, it requires that you be running 10.7 and above. If you run a previous version of the operating system, such as Snow Leopard or something before that, then you probably want to go with iStopMotion 2. They have said on their website that they don't plan to continue to support the previous operating systems with the current version of the program, so you have to get the new version of the program for it to work with the new version of the operating system. Such is life. Let's get into the one bad thing that I don't like about iStopMotion 3. It's the only thing that I don't like about it, and that is that since they've released the new version, they have introduced a feature called Sandbox. Now, some of you who are into internet security and computer security, you know what Sandbox is. And sandboxing is basically when you take an application and it runs inside of its own environment, and sometimes it doesn't play well with stuff that's running outside the environment. In this case, some of the QuickTime environment stuff that's going on, such as external codecs that you may have installed or external video processing programs that you have installed, they may not play well with iStopMotion. So seeing as how I have DivX installed on my Mac because I'm a video producer, I make videos, I kind of have to have DivX installed, as well as other codecs, okay? To have the program not play well with these codecs, I'm sorry guys, that just seems like a no-brainer. Why would you do that? In essence, if it doesn't play well when it's sandbox, I would say, guys, get rid of sandbox. Don't sandbox the application. To me, it doesn't seem to make any sense at all that you sandbox this application and make it not play well with others. As such, the program comes up with an alert and tells me that some of the QuickTime components are not working well and that it may cause the program to crash. And as such, when I activate my Logitech QuickCam Pro 9000 as the webcam, which I'll get more into that in a minute, it also, the first time I run the program, it does not actually bring up the webcam. So it doesn't enable the Logitech. It will enable the FaceTime camera that's built into my Mac, but it won't enable the Logitech. Now, the Logitech QuickCam Pro, I could get into a whole new thing about that, but the fact is that the Mac doesn't have its own webcam application to focus your webcam, and the drivers for the Logitech don't allow you to focus the Logitech. So I would say that maybe the Logitech QuickCam Pro is not the best camera to use with the iStopMotion 3 or any other stop motion program for the Mac. That's not the fault of iStopMotion, it's the fault of Logitech for making a camera that doesn't have a way to manual focus inside the Mac environment. It'll work on the PC, but there's no way to focus it in the Mac. And that's common amongst webcams for the Mac, so you kind of have to make sure that you have some way to focus it. Currently, I'm looking for a webcam that has a manual focus ring on it to work with iStopMotion 3. Most of those seem to have a low resolution, so I want to get a high resolution, high def webcam that works with a manual focus. I recommend that if you're going to get serious into stop motion animation on the Mac, get a webcam that's got a manual focus ring, one that does HD video. Now on to the good stuff about iStopMotion 3, and there's plenty of it. Onion skinning. Okay, onion skinning is great. There is a free application out there for those of you who just want to do just basic animation. There's a free application out for the Mac called Frame by Frame, which does very nice onion skinning. And onion skinning is basically where you have like this frame and this frame, and you can kind of see this frame through this frame, so that way you can get your animated figures lined up just perfectly. And maybe you know, especially in Lego animation, like sometimes you'll stick it on the next block over and you meant to only move it, you know, like halfway between. And so, you know, having the onion skinning allows you to see where your previous frame was, and you can get the positioning just right. Onion skinning is almost a must-have for stop motion animation. Although there are those of the school that have been just using DSLR cameras or SLR cameras to take pictures and, you know, import those into your animation program. And iStopMotion supports that. So if you just like to just take your pictures with your camera, snap your pictures, and then come back and add them into your animation program, iStopMotion will support that. There's a number of professional level cameras that will support iStopMotion's onion skinning, so you can do preview and stuff like that. I do have a Nikon D80 camera, which is a professional DSLR, and if you hook that up with the USB, you can also do the onion skinning with that. But some of the cameras, like the D80, which has a real shutter, require that you actually take the picture first, which the software will control the taking of the picture. But you take the picture first and then it appears. I kind of like with the webcam idea where you can see it in real time. You can kind of, like for instance, if you accidentally move something, you know, too far, then you can kind of move it back in the position and get it in the right position, and then you don't have to worry. I like the fact that that iStopMotion has that real-time ability to preview, but some of the cameras don't support it. You just have to deal with that. Most webcams do support it, but again, you want to get one that's got some kind of manual focus on it, or the ability to focus it with software, which iStopMotion does not include that software. It's not their fault that your webcam doesn't support manual focus. Eventually, I'm probably going to get into using DSLR to take the pictures and then, you know, animate them with iStopMotion. Cool thing about iStopMotion is that you can actually preview your animation before you're done producing it, before you're done rendering it. Also, if you're a Final Cut Pro X user, it will allow you to export out into a Final Cut Pro project. So you'll be able to take that project and bring it right into Final Cut and edit it. And if that doesn't work, you can always, of course, you know, export it as a movie file and bring it into Final Cut Pro or any other video editor. Myself, I use Adobe Premiere, so I'll be exporting the video as like a ProRes file or something like that and bringing it into Adobe Premiere. Simple as that. Another couple of functions that they have in there is the soundtrack option. The soundtrack option allows you to bring in, say you're making a music video, and say you want to be like the next Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer thing, right? You can basically do stop motion animation music videos, and you can bring in your soundtrack and sync up, you know, place your animation right with that. Another thing that you have is a rotoscoping function, which is, you know, rotoscoping, you know, used to paint over frames and stuff. They use it for like lightsaber effects. Well, here's another application of rotoscoping. You can have a video that's already done and have it shot in live motion, and then you can follow it with each frame of the animation. So say I want to make a shot of some Lego guy running across the screen, right? Well, maybe I'll run across the street and film myself running across the street, and just so that I get the motion just right, I can follow each frame with my Lego guy and sort of onion skin him over the top of that. So I really like those kind of functions, and I think that that provides a lot of possibilities. And I will tell you this, those free options that you see in the App Store or on the internet, they don't offer any of that stuff. So like the rotoscoping function and the soundtrack function, you're gonna have a hard time finding anything that's free out there that does that kind of stuff. Now here's the cool thing, iStopMotion really used to be a lot more expensive, but now it is very reasonably priced. If you look it up in the App Store, you'll see it's right down there. You know, I think it was 50-60 bucks for iStopMotion. It's a great program. So, you know, for what it does, if you're going to get into animation, and I just sort of got, you know, dropped in, sink or swim kind of treatment for learning how to teach people Lego animation, this program is a great place to start, and it sure beats the heck out of doing it the old-fashioned way, where you'd have to, you know, always be messing with your camera, setting up tripods and stuff. If you're gonna do it with a webcam, it makes it a piece of cake. You just can preview it, preview, 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 preview. I just recommend that you get a good HD webcam that has a focus ring on it so you can really get your pictures crisp, because my Logitech webcam doesn't do the job. The QuickCam Pro 9000 doesn't really work well with iStopMotion 3. Outside of the one critique being, you know, that it's sandboxed and it doesn't play well with outside codecs, that kind of thing, and sometimes crashes trying to boot up my Logitech QuickCam Pro. That's because of, you know, it being sandboxed. That one critique. The program is great and it seems to run really smooth. We've done a lot of animation with it, and we like it a lot in the class, and I hope that you do too. Check out iStopMotion 3 in the Mac App Store. Thanks for watching this video. Next week I'll be reviewing Pluralize 3. It's that handy dandy video multi-camera syncing application that Red Giant Software released for a lot of different video editors. So check that out next week, and we'll see you then. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can help me out by clicking those like and favorite buttons down below. And if you enjoy seeing tech tutorials, reviews, and more, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I hope you do. Also, if you have any questions or ideas to contribute, make sure you tell me about it in the comments below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on MindPower.